everybody. Welcome to Berean TV. I wanted to clarify some things with the Hebrew Israelites and the Christians. I think a lot of people have it confused. I've stated in other videos that every time the Most High God moves and does something, a counterfeit would come out. Just like the Louis pocketbooks. You'll have a real Louis pocketbook. A few weeks later, the Asians would hit the market with the bootleg. You'll see the bootleg Louis and Gucci bags in the street. It's the same way when you're dealing with spiritual matters. Just like it's in the natural, so it is in the spirit. Spiritually, you have word of knowledge and you have the prophets of the Most High God speaking, and then you have psychics or people that move from a different spirit. And it's a counterfeit to the real thing. And it's the same thing with Christianity. You have the real church true believers, and then you have counterfeit madness out here. It's the same exact thing with every single movement, including this movement that we're talking about, these Israelites and how God's waking up people. So I want to explain some things. For the most part, I have one video that speaks about the 12 tribe chart and how the chart is false, historically speaking, in light of the slave trade. No white person got to West Africa and got off the boat and said, oh, this boat is going to Virginia. All I want is the tribe of Judah. Levi, Benjamin, y'all wait till we get back. There was none of that. It was about money and sugar and molasses and cotton and all of that stuff. So they didn't care about that. Africans came along for the ride also. So there were Africans, there were Hebrews, there were European slaves. That's where the word slave actually comes from, Slav. There were some coming from Europe. So it was a mixture. But when we start dealing with this move of God and what the high God is doing, we have false Israelites out here that are confused. They're moving in hatred and they're various racist groups. In all actuality, the majority of Israelites, the majority of true Israelite camps, true Israelites that's following the statute and commandments of the Most High, they're not in the street hollering what they're going to do, and when the white man rule is coming to an end. They're law-abiding, peaceful citizens, and they share individually, they teach individually with people. Sometimes they go out in groups. You have churches, you have Messianic churches with European Jews, you have Asians, you have a mixture of people, and they all keep commandments and the statute and the commandments of the Most High. So you have the real Israelite movement and you have a fake Israelite movement. And I am concerned that real Israelites cannot wake up to who they are and what the Most High God is doing, because they see so much madness with fake Israelites that's full of hatred and racism. There's certain scriptures that Israelites will never deal with. 1 John 4 and 8, speaking about God is love. What are you going to do with those scriptures? You don't even know God, according to John. 1 John, you don't even know God if you hate your brother. Plain and simple. What are y'all going to do with that? But you have to remember, in the first century, when the Messiah walked the planet, the only people that he had problems with were the Pharisees, the Sadducees, and those that were considered lawyers. Those were people that were professionals in the what we call the Pentateuch, or the first 5 books of Moses: Genesis, Exodus, Leviticus, Numbers, and Deuteronomy. They were trained in the law. They quote a bunch of scriptures, but they constantly missed it. This is why they missed the Messiah. Only a few Pharisees, or what we would call Hebrew Israelites, came to the truth and the faith. The majority of them were against Christ in all actuality. Of course, they wanted to take over. They wanted to kill up the Romans, the Zealots, and everybody else. If you begin to read Josephus and study first century Judaism and the historic faith of the Hebraic people. So it's very interesting. And right now we still have that same spirit. There's a lot of people out here that feel that because you deal with, maybe you went and got a swab and you did your DNA, oh, I'm a Hebrew Israelite. Salvation is not in your DNA. And they were confused with the same thing. They thought salvation was in their DNA or who they descended from. This is where all of the confusion is coming. So I'm just dropping this little video to tell y'all, be careful. DNA is good. DNA is important, but that's not what brings salvation. The Bible says Christ is the end of the law for righteousness to those that believe. I'm gonna pick up I'm gonna finish up part 3 on another video that I'm doing. Y'all can check out Christians, Hebrew Israelites, and pork. Acts 10, part 1, 2, and I'm getting ready to drop 3 right now. But I just wanted to drop this little video. There's true Israelites that's moving in the power and the grace of the Most High God. They keep the laws, the statutes, and commandments. The laws can't save you, but they're Hebrew Israelites. They keep the Sabbath, and they've been doing these things, and that's good. Those are God's people. We have no problem with that. And the church in the first century, the church in Antioch and Jerusalem, the true Hebrew Israelites, they've always been working together. There was no confusion. But now there's confusion because you have racist Israelites. And they've always caused trouble in the camp. Like I said, go back and read Josephus. The Zealots have always caused trouble for the regular people. So when the temple was destroyed, when things were torn up in 70 AD, when you start dealing with the wars between 66 and 70, then later on in 132, 135, and we were totally split from each other. That's when Christianity went its separate way from the Hebrew Israelites, and some went into Europe, some went into what we would call Africa, the interiors of Africa. If y'all want to do further research on that, everybody's into the blood and this racism thing, but it's part of the signs of the end of time. You have what I call, what they call British Israelism. You have British people, you have Anglo-Saxons, they feel they're chosen. So I'm going to do a full teaching on that in Sunday seminary. And then you have other brothers that's waking up to a certain teaching, that a certain people that did come over in the slave trade, that they were also actually Israelites too. I'll do more on that, but I just wanted to drop that. You have real Israelites and you have fake Israelites. How can you tell the difference between the two camps and between the two groups? One group know the Most High God and they're not moving in hatred towards other people, and I'm afraid that number is getting higher and higher on YouTube, and they're being seen with all their hatred and their hate speech. There's a lot of stuff that's going on in New York City and in the streets of America. The white men, even the white Ku Klux Klan, who's a branch of wicked Christians, who are fake Christians also, they can't get on the streets of New York City and spew the foolishness that some of these guys are spewing. White women are walking by, we're going to rape you. That's GMS. I'm not going to confuse everybody. ISUPK, I'm not going to confuse them. GOCC. I've been in this for a little while. I got a real good idea what I'm talking about. But when you're moving in hatred and the spirit of wickedness, you're not moving in the love of the Most High. Did Christ come to die for everybody? No. The Gospels say he died for a ransom for many, not everybody. So the church, we're not confused. Y'all get ready for Sunday seminary. We're going to teach systematic theology. We're going to give recommended books. I speak on certain books. Sometimes I would quote Dr. Ben and the Egyptian Book of the Dead, but I'm going to start giving recommended books. I don't recommend those books, but for conscious people and others that I'm dealing with that's eclectic with their knowledge, I'll just quote certain things. But recommended readings, being that I was a pastor, I feel I'm in a certain position. I'm going to share with y'all from my experience, things that I've been through, and I read a lot. And when y'all see that I'm on here with other people, the majority of people that y'all see me on here with, they have PhDs. They're working on their PhDs or double masters or whatever. But I read a lot. And from all of the readings and the works that I've done with, I'm going to start giving recommended readings and recommended videos for y'all that want to just come up in the faith and the scriptures. And I'm going to give y'all a whole rundown on the Bible. From an ex-pastor's point of view. It's going to be heavy. Y'all check out that Sunday seminary. If you like what you heard, subscribe. Thanks for watching.